Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the things we did not get to during the course of the show today. And today, this is, well, I say it's exciting. It's not exciting. It's bad, actually. It's all bad. But it's exciting because we have former producer Zach on the show who... Everybody loves Zach. They loved his laugh. They loved him being on the show. I loved having you on the show. And it's funny when you left and like we brought in Gavin, people were like, I miss Zach so much. It's not that I don't like Gavin, but you had a lot of years here. You and I, worked together. How long did we do the show together? 8, 9 years?
12.
12 years. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh, that's right. We waited 8 years to sign up for 401k because we kept thinking we were going to get fired.
Certain.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was an inevitability. We were not going to survive a year here. And we ended up working 12 years together, and then Zach's been here 17 years. And Zach is leaving, and I'm super not happy about that, obviously.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I love having you around because you're a great idea person. I love bouncing ideas. Half of the dumb things that we did came from a pun from you or a bad idea that you're like, oh, we can't do this. And I'm like, oh, no, we can. We can do that. Storming the Newsboys dressed as a lion for their Roaring Like a Lion thing, that was Zach's idea, and we did it. I just was the one that sweated in the lion costume.
A lot.
Yes. A
lot.
An ungodly amount. I felt bad returning that. I hope they watched it. It was rough. And so Betty's been pulling a bunch of audio we're going to get to, but I know people love you very much, and like we had a thing yesterday for Zach, like a lunch, and I was like totally good. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm not happy, but I'll say something, about this, and then I got me. Like I choked up. I did. I didn't think I was going to. Like I thought I was gonna man up, and I didn't.
It's about what I expected from you.
Yeah. Is it weird though? This is what I was thinking. Is it weird having all these people talk about how great you are, and you just have to sit there and nod?
It's very weird. It's like attending your own funeral.
Yes.
And people saying things that you never.
Him, and he's like, "I'll see you tomorrow." He's like, "No, I won't."
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah, because I don't think I could handle that awkwardness of sitting there and just having, or the awkwardness of people saying nothing.
Yeah. Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Just anyone want to say anything?
Crickets.
It was funny because after we did this, your boss, former boss here said, "Hey Wally, why don't you close us in prayer?"
That was so weird.
And so I'm like, okay. So why was that weird? It's interesting you say that.
Just the amount of times that you're asked to pray.
Yeah, and
in
so
a setting.
Yeah.
Not that you praying is weird.
I thought you did a really good
You
job.
did.
yeah,
You did.
Betty.
I was surprised.
Betty calls me later, and we were talking about something else, and she goes, "You know what? I have to tell you, your prayer was really good
It
at the end,
was.
and I didn't even know you knew how."
It was the perfect length.
Yeah.
It was the perfect amount of emotion.
Some people pray way too long.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So Zach is leaving us to go to, like, because when you left the show, I still remember this. Our boss at the time, Farron, was like, he called me. I was at a golf tournament, and he's like, "Hey, I got to tell you, Zach is more valuable to the network than he is to being a producer on your show." And I said, well, I knew this day was coming because I always told you that. I always told you, like, you're going to keep him long after you get rid of me.
Whoa,
Irony.
Look at that.
First time I've been wrong. And so, like, I remember that day distinctly, and I was really mad. But I understood it. And then, and now it's like, but I knew you were going to be around.
Right.
And I always loved that, like you're just such a good force and a good creative guy. Like if I ever was stuck, I'd just walk up and we just kind of talk through stuff and laugh and then, oh, that's a great idea. So I'm gonna greatly miss that. But you're going on to something new.
Right.
Are you excited about this? Is it going to be good for you? That's all I care about.
Yes, I'm very excited. It's really good for me.
Okay.
I'll be able to work from home, which makes a lot of things a lot easier. But yeah, I'll be able to kind of have those brainstorming sessions with more ministries to do
better
more
people.
Things. Yeah. People haven't heard all my ideas before. So
Yeah, you just go back to square one and start over. So I got this lion costume,
Yeah. And we live 10 minutes apart.
I know.
I might see you more now.
Yeah, I actually think so because we get so busy with work, and then at work you want to get away from work, And I'm sure our wives aren't thrilled that every time we sit down to like have dinner, we talk about work.
Right.
So yeah, I could see that being good. No, so I mean, ultimately, like I'm happy for you. in leaving, and I know everybody else is too, but Betty spent a lot of time today during the show, like so much so she was working so hard on this. Gavin did a bit where he took a shot at Betty during news, didn't even hear it, and she's like, what? Like, she worked the entire show on this here. So Betty Rock, where do you want to start with this?
Well, first off, what I did was I posted a photo of the two of y'all, and
did any of the awkward photos make it up there? Where you're like,
that'll make it there today.
Jump on his back. Like, what in the world?
That's what best friends do.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I asked people to share and comment with some of their favorite memories or just comments or questions. And so I thought I'd first start with some people that we actually worked with, and what they had to say. So one of them was Jocelyn. Remember Jocelyn?
Oh, from Compassion.
Yeah, so she did a lot of traveling with y'all, but
Yeah,
she
she
said,
did.
I know Zach will really be missed. He's incredibly talented and has brought so many good things to WayFM.
Oh, that's kind. Thank you.
So
Jocelyn.
have they posted his job yet? Because I'm looking.
You remember Claire? She used to be an intern here. You remember?
Redheaded Claire?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, she said, I know he hasn't been on the show that for a while now, but just knowing that he was in the building when you guys were recording put me at ease.
Yeah.
Aw.
You're very easy.
Maybe you could have a cutout of me in the studio
that'd be
in
great.
memorial.
It's funny because they have ones of me
They
at
do.
other stations that
They
we
do, don't
have,
they?
and it's my favorite is the one with me upside down with my shirt coming up, and it just terrifies people.
Terrifies everyone. Steve Shore.
Oh.
He said, I liked it
R.I.P..
when my mom would see clips of The Wally Show on Facebook scrolling through and would see Zach and think it was me.
Yeah, yeah.
We got that a ton.
Brothers from another mother.
Yes.
Yeah, both shaved heads. And then Katie Rose, who used to be on the show, she said, I was getting ready to move from the office into the studio to prepare for a great day. So like any normal person, I said, I'm headed to the studio. And Zach said, why do you extroverts need to narrate your lives? She said, I've never been the same since.
Yeah. See, Zach has had some comments over the course of time. One that Betty uses now still to describe how I eat. Zach's like, how can you make eating pudding loud?
But somehow you're able to do it.
Do you remember when Katie Rose was so proud of herself for building her desk when she moved into the office? She spent all day building her desk, and she left before us, and Zach and I disassembled her entire desk and just had it in a
Wow.
pile when she walked in the next morning.
And she's not here anymore, you say.
know.
Sorry,
Interesting.
Katie. What a rude comment, too.
Oh,
Jeez.
Yeah,
that was
very
awesome.
rude. Okay, so now I want to move on to some requests from people of audio that they heard. These are some of the segments that they were like, man, this was some of Zach's best.
Oh, good.
So, first off, I'm going to start with down here.
Okay.
So, Shelly, she said, you did a segment along the lines of worship songs for dogs once, and Zach came up with the best one. Zach wouldn't hype up his answers like some members of the show tended to do.
Direct
Cough,
shot.
Wally, cough. That's what she did. And I was not prepared. He read a couple, and he got to his last one, and his delivery was so spot on, I spit my tea all over my car.
I can't believe you found all these. Holy cow. Zachary, what do you have?
Amazing Grace, my chain is gone.
So you can do a Tomlin song. That's good.
Come as you bark.
Oh, instead of come as you are, good.
Yeah. Good boy.
Good father.
You're a good boy.
You're a good boy. You're a good boy.
And how great thou arf.
She's right. That's gold. Zach was always good for the horrible dad joke or pun or graph.
Yes.
I don't know why you say horrible.
Yes,
Sure, I'll take it.
I think you just heard it. Oh, goodness.
John brought up one that I love to reminisce about. John said the one time he was wrong, the Cookie Monster
don't-
debate.
Yeah.
Cookie or Cookie Monster? I'm offended by the Cookie Monster. He is promoting
An unhealthy lifestyle.
His
Yes.
name now is just Cookie. Because Monster was too scary. You didn't know
Really?
that? Yeah.
No.
It's just Cookie.
You're making that up.
Do you want to bet?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Do you?
No, don't ever bet. Don't ever bet against Zach.
I can never tell when he's trying to pull my leg and when he's not.
Were you
Okay, so
serious on
then
that
here's what happened.
It was true. I don't know where to find
Not till I tell.
Oh,
no-
yeah,
Where do
because
you
it
fact
doesn't
check this?
exist.
'Cause I'm pretty
Because
sure.
it doesn't exist, Zach.
Oh,
Who's the
no.
winner? If Betty Rock just bested Zach, that would be amazing.
I bested
No,
him.
I just don't know how to find how to Google Cookie Monster's real
the
name.
Google Meister doesn't know how to Google.
That's
Okay.
convenient.
Maybe I did just make that up. I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, Betty Rock!
Mark it down in the
But
book.
I saw a toy and I read an article about
You
this.
saw a tweet, did you? That's breaking news. We gave each other such a hard time.
Didn't I come in the next week with a book that
No,
just calls him
no,
Cookie?
You
no.
did.
You said that Anna had one, and then you conveniently couldn't find it. Never did.
And I'm pretty
so-
sure that was an AI thing of
Yeah,
me saying I was
sure.
wrong.
And then Arsley, she said there's an Aftercast from 2013, 2014 where you were imitating each other. Zach had to imitate Wally with a high-pitched voice. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard and still think about it to this day, but I am not able to find it anymore since
did you
it's been
find
so long ago. So here we go.
That's crazy.
This is the Wally Show, and quite honestly, I'd rather watch Project Runway than anything manly. The designs run the gambit from fabulous to fantastic. It's really nicely done. You don't watch it? What?
Your voice got so high on that, and I do that. That's pretty spot on, actually.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about all those sayings. You quite honestly,
Quite honestly.
you had a lot of those.
We all
Forgot
have
about that.
crutches
Yeah.
that we would land on, and in this show, you'll have a crutch for like about a month, and then somebody's gonna go okay, and they start making fun of you for that crutch, and this, that, and the other was my other one.
yeah.
It used to get me on that one too. Yeah, it must be nice to be perfect. Oh, your ivory tower.
My crutch is my cough.
Yeah. Oh, for 9
Oh,
months.
gosh. And he never would go to the doctor.
The cough he
for it.
denied he even had. He could literally be going, I don't.
I can
have a
stop
cough.
anytime I want.
Yeah.
And you never did.
He had COVID 6
yes.
years before COVID was a thing.
Yeah, it was horrible. And I think that there's something about whoever sits in this seat, they're the ones that are going to cough. Because when Gavin moved into the seat that Zach used to take up, he started coughing. He had gag reflex. And there's something
something
about
on the
this
wall.
wall.
I know.
I bet it is covered in nastiness.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about what
it probably has
covered in.
asbestos in it, and that's why it's making people cough.
So then I wanted to move on. These are just a few of the promos that Wally made while Zach was on the show. And I think that they're great. So let's start with the first one.
Let's see if we can't get you caught up with all the important events going on around the world. Just in, I got that piece of apple out of my teeth. It's driving me absolutely nuts.
I think it's cute how you buy apples already cut up for you.
It takes a lot longer to cut them. I don't have that kind of time. I'm a busy executive over here.
I remember when I was at a buffet kind of thing, and it's an old.
How come every story for you starts with, I remember when I was at a buffet?
There were a lot
Yeah.
that I wanted to pull, and
Yeah.
Zach, I am gonna apologize for Wally. There were a lot of things I wanted to pull, but there were so many
I know.
fat jokes.
Yeah, speaking of crutches, I crutched on fat jokes at Zach's expense for years.
But I am proud. I am proud of the fact I'm leaving a place 17 years later, 40 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
How many people can say that?
Yeah, exactly. I
I'm
shamed
all right
you
with that.
into
Yeah,
health.
thank
and
you.
No,
I
me-
owe it all to you.
Me and the diabetes.
Yeah.
Fix that man.
Diabetes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, so good.
Well, one other thing that Zach had an issue with was this.
I've
one.
read in studies.
You always say crazy things, Zach, and then you say, I've read it, like to give it validity
It gives it
somewhere.
authority.
What
I
did
have
you
read
read?
in studies
Yes.
that if you make your bed immediately after getting up, it locks moisture in there and it gives the germs a place to reproduce. But if you wait a while, let it air out, and then make the bed, it stays much cleaner.
Well, maybe you should sweat less when you sleep. Okay?
I have a medical condition.
I remember one time we were in Haiti, we were in Haiti, and Zach is walking around, and it's so hot there, and Zach is sweating, and he always had a white sweat rag he would carry with him, and he'd wipe his head. And then do you remember meeting that kid?
I do.
Yeah.
Coolest kid in Haiti.
Yeah, there's another little kid, equally as sweaty as Zach, and that just lived in Haiti, had the same white sweat rag.
Well, bless his heart.
That is one of my favorite pictures, is these two people, like...
And at some point, it would get so bad that he would wear the towel on top of his head.
Yeah.
So you'd look over, and he's just got this white sweat towel dripping off the top of his head.
We traveled so many places, some great places with some horrible trips. The 6-hour car ride in Uganda that took 8 years off of our lives, and the flights into tiny little deserts and stuff, like so good. Like, do you have like a favorite travel memory from one of our like either Compassion or Bloodwater or World Vision trips that we did? Because there were so many. I know it's putting you on the spot.
So good. Yeah, I counted up. We went to 13 countries.
Oh my goodness.
my time here. Boy, a favorite. See, I'm bad at favorites.
I know that. That's why I asked you that.
Yeah.
He was always giving the hardest time. I'd be like, hey, tell me your favorite. Well, I can't really tell a favorite because, and there's always an explanation.
A groan. There was always a groan, an audible groan.
And we were always like, oh, just make up something. We're not going to know.
Here's one thing that is interesting about Zach. I don't think you are superstitious, maybe just a little stitious.
Yeah.
But every time I would get on a flight with you,
Yes.
you had to touch the flight before you got on.
Like
and
outside of the airplane.
Yeah, and
walk
I
in,
tried to block him once. Like I tried.
You were trying to bring down the plane,
Yes.
Betty.
See what I'm talking about? He's a little stitious.
No, he's never been in a plane
never
crash
once.
because he's done that. Like
Never
the next
once.
time he
Come
misses it,
on.
we're all doomed.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on that flight.
I don't want to find out that it is
grief.
not effective.
Okay,
So,
sure. Now, I think everyone will say that Zach was always good at the one-liners,
Yeah.
and this is a perfect example.
We're apparently facing a nationwide clown shortage.
I don't even know how that's possible, quite honestly. How could there ever possibly be a shortage of clowns?
It was a very tragic single car accident.
Almighty! Like your mind works totally different than mine, and that's why it worked. You know,
Yeah.
like that's on Nate Bargatze level genius.
That's
And
a huge compliment.
That is a huge
It
compliment.
was always so embarrassing because I don't remember almost any of these clips. Like I
Right.
don't remember what I say. And so when we drive around over the weekend and our show would be replaying, and I would laugh at my own jokes, and my wife would just look at me like, "What a loser!"
You're like, that was genius, man. I got a gut laugh out of Wally. That was genius.
All right, then I was given a tough question on who I would give a kidney to.
If Zach and I both needed one of your kidneys, and you can only give us one, who would you give the kidney to?
Zach.
Okay, you didn't even think about it.
Okay. Hold on. Let me think about it. Okay. Let me think about it.
Not much has changed.
Yeah, Zach.
Thank you. That's at least better. Why is that? You chose Zach. Why?
Well, because
I have a family.
And I don't?
Your wife doesn't count. She's good looking. She's young. She can remarry.
Good times. And then we all know how nerdy Zach is.
What did you say about those books, Zach? Where can they be found?
They're in the 100 section at the library.
You never cease to amaze me. You actually know the sections of
Dewey
a
Decimal,
library.
yeah.
And you really only dated one girl. That's amazing.
Shocker. She knows what number she's into. She's into the 700s.
See, imagine the odds of finding another girl who loves the Dewey Decimal System as much as you. You guys are perfect for each other.
Some good stuff.
Oh.
This is one that I can't find the comment, but this is one that someone requested. Was when Barlow Girl was in studio, and Wally had a great idea.
We'll play a little bit of this, and then the backstory of this is what's really funny. I'm just going to ask you a series of questions.
Yes.
But I have a secret word.
Oh, no.
That every time you guys say the secret
Oh,
word,
no.
Zach gets the bat.
Oh,
and
what's the word?
I'm not going to tell you
Okay,
because you guys are so
see?
sweet, you will avoid it. All right, so
Heads
here
up
we
on
go.
that.
Other than music, is there
Yes.
something you guys all like to do together?
Yeah. Do you want to know
I
what?
would like to know. I would like to know what you
I'm
guys
scared
all
to
do
talk.
together.
We like to go to movies. Oh my God. Okay,
That's me hitting Zach with a plastic
I'm
bat.
a little
that
excited.
is unacceptable.
Okay, don't flinch. Have you ever played on the same sports team?
Never.
Never.
No.
What?
Never.
Never?
None of us.
Sorry.
One time.
Sorry.
Never
I'm
is
sorry.
the word?
Once again, I'm sorry. Do you guys have equal say in the direction of the band? And by the way, we're talking to Barlow Girl, and every time they say the secret word, Zach gets hit with a bat. That was a demonstration. I really think that we should bring back this bit with Gavin. Yes.
I don't need to fill that role. I don't need to fill the get hit with bats
It's
role.
such a great role, and it's such a great bit, because they don't know what they're saying that keeps getting him hit, and they don't want to get him hit. I think the word was like no, or the
It was
thing.
we.
We, okay, yeah, yeah, love that.
And then they started. One of the girls said, "We're not going to spell." Oh, because she said "we're," and they're like "W-E."
But
And
now,
you still hit him. Of
what
course.
is the best part of that bit? About the backstory.
Because that was within, what, 2 weeks?
2
starting
weeks
here?
of getting here. He's brand new here. Like
Bless
we
his
just
heart.
met 2 weeks ago, basically, and here we are hitting him with a bat.
Yeah, the radio show I had left to come here emailed me and said, "Hey, we'll still take you back. You don't need to put up with this."
And what made you say no? What made you turn him down?
The emotional abuse.
You had Stockholm syndrome.
I don't like going backwards.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. Betty actually preceded Zach here by about 2 months.
That's crazy.
She was an intern, and she was loyal to this show, and was an intern for
Stockholm
2 years. Yeah, and Zach got hired a few months after Betty. And then we did the show for like 12 years, and then Betty's been here the entire time. And
boy, do I have regrets.
yeah, I know.
Another piece of audio that everyone wanted to hear was Anna saying it's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
Oh, Anna's
She was
his
like
little
how
angel.
old? Maybe 2?
Yeah, maybe 2.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
9.
Oh.
Wow, it goes by so fast.
Oh my goodness.
That's when I was going to ride my bike down the stairs, the back stairs.
I think you were having a
You
midlife
still
crisis.
eventually did it.
I did
too.
do it. Yeah, I did do it.
The Michael W. Smith?
No, it was
It was Finn.
I did get rid of the Michael W. Smith, but then I had Finn. I rode Finn down there. But yeah, she was so cute. Like, and the backstory.
It's a bad idea.
I'm like, oh, she's adorable. She thinks it's a bad idea. She doesn't want Uncle Wally to get hurt. And I asked Zach about it. She's like, no, she was crying because she's crying and stuff.
Aww.
And do you remember why she was crying?
No.
She was crying. You told me because she was like, she was upset because you wouldn't let her go out and watch me go down the stairs. Like, she had didn't care about my safety whatsoever. She wanted to see the train wreck.
That sounds
and
true.
she was not allowed to go see it.
So she's been homesick this week, and I told her, man, we just feel so bad. Like your mommy and me both wish we could be the ones sick and take it from you. And she goes, I'd pick you. Like she's just turned into a sniper.
It's so great. Like, they're so great. I remember when my daughter, I said, honey, I got to have a surgery. I don't know. She was like 8. I don't think we're going to be able to do, what do you think I have to do, the surgery or do vacation? So, I'm kind of trying to figure out what to do. And she just looks at me dead in the eyes and goes, well, is your thing life-threatening? like you could put it off, right? Like, oh my gosh, we've raised terrible children.
I've got a couple of comments just from people that are praising you, like Ellen. She said, Zach used a laptop to take notes in college before they were cool. Always a step ahead.
Yeah.
Zach also referred Ohio as God's country. Go Bucks.
Nice.
Lisa said Zach was always the best. He kept Wally in his place, but now Betty has to.
Yep.
There's a lot of
Transfer of
truth in that.
power. Peaceful transfer of power.
Yeah. Then everybody, of course, is commenting on your laugh, which we have a montage of.
Yes.
Okay, and that thing was wrong.
Your leg. Great.
Wow.
Well, okay. Look great. Betty, go ahead and play the clip of him laughing, because that was just him laughing. Yeah. No, like it's so funny. Your laugh was so infectious and people loved it. But for me, it was so helpful because like there were times
'cause people could laugh at you.
well, like Zach and I make each other laugh. Like he genuinely makes me laugh. And
sweet how you made him believe that line.
yeah. But that was something that was always great for me in starting this show, was that there were times Zach didn't say anything in a segment. Like at first I had to drag him onto the air, and then just him being in it and laughing made my job so much better.
Mm-hmm.
It made it easier.
Because it is really, like, this job is talking in basically a closet, and you don't see any reaction. I remember the first time we did something live somewhere, and you could see, people actually get...
Yeah.
Like, they think this is funny. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because you don't get any of that.
No feedback.
In this dead, quiet room, you know? And so it's important.
And that's why, like when you're doing the show, if people aren't reacting, it's really hard. We were talking about this the other day in the Aftercast. Jake, who came in and sat in one day when Gavin was gone, and Jake works under Zach in the digital department. But Jake, his job is to shoot a bunch of videos, but not be on them. And so Jake would laugh, but he's learned to laugh silently.
Yes.
So Jake is over there, like you see his face go. But nothing comes out, and you're like, it's okay, you can laugh here. We kind of need that, you know?
Well, and sometimes people need to know that you're joking because...
Right.
When you say a horrible thing, I know you're joking, but
Right.
if other people don't know that you're joking,
Yeah.
you know...
And I said some horrible things. throughout the course of our tenure.
I mean, I can't think of any, but
I know, thank you.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Michelle said, Zach, you have a fantabulous laugh. I'm thankful you get to spread that joy elsewhere. Let's see. Nate said, Wally, make sure you have his laugh saved so when you say something funny, you can just play the audio of his laugh, especially how much Betty laughs at you. At least Zach will be laughing with you.
We could actually turn this into a bit I used to do at my mainstream rock station. Is when our co-host was gone, we had her laughing, and then we would do like a horrible story, and then we would play her laughing at it. It's like you would be like, all right, Zach, we appreciate you being in here today. Oh man, it's a tough story. There was a bus full of children that went over a ravine, and 14 children died. Dude, what is wrong with you? That's not funny at all. I mean, these are kids that are dead now.
Dustin said, I remember listening back in Total Access days
Yes.
when these two were on and loved their energy and what they brought to the show. I'm thankful for his part and that he was faithful to take the job. Even when everyone said Wally would be off the air in 3 months, glad they were wrong.
So somebody remembers that story, because that's
Yep.
true, right, Zach?
Oh, 100%. When I called people to be references, every single one said, oh, don't do that job. Don't take that move. That he's going to be gone any day now.
And I know I was greatly responsible for a lot of the drama that happened around the show back then, because I fed on it. But then it was like every day I came in, and it was either a good day or I was getting fired day. And and unfortunately, I drug you through all of that because you're way more stable. And I feel bad that, like, because I thrive in chaos, you know?
Right. Well, and you came from rock radio where success was getting a reaction.
Right.
Positive or negative. Like, it was all, like, any reaction was a good thing. And that formula didn't quite work in Christian radio.
No, not at all. And so Zach got to go through, well, I guess we're going to be fired today, or Wally's going to quit. It was either fired or quit. Those were the only two options.
Yeah, that's a good point. It
Yeah.
wasn't always that you were going to get fired. It's just you were always.
I was done.
Yeah.
Yeah, the arguments with
You've been
people
done
and
for
stuff.
17
I know,
years.
I'm still here. I was done the other day and I'm back. But like, I'm curious for you, what held you here? Like, for all those years, even though everyone told you not to go or not to take the job, then we had a lot of sketchy times, but you and I didn't. Like, you and I always got along. Like, we might not have always agreed, and even that was rare, but I always listened to you. But what kept you here for so long, do you think?
Well, I mean, part of it that a lot of people don't, like, no one would really know, but, like, you are such a strong advocate for me.
Sure.
Not just as an employee, but personally, like... Yeah. Like, you took pay cuts so I could get more money, like, time and time again. Like, you did, you didn't, like, it wasn't just lip service of, hey, I like having you.
Yeah.
Like, you went to bat for me multiple times. I think part of it was my job kind of changed every 2 years. Like, we'd go from night show to afternoon to morning to become music director, then digital. And so, like, I like change. And so, even though I've been here for 17 years, there was enough change to keep me kind of interested.
Mm-hmm.
But there were times I thought for sure it was over, but those times never lined up with the times that there were opportunities that I was interested in. So
that's the thing for me too. Like, I found that same thing. There were times I wanted to leave and times they wanted me to leave, but none of those things ever lined up with, like, the next thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was thankful for. And that to me, I can only chalk up to a God thing for me, personally surviving the amount of mistakes I made early on that I could not make anymore. I know that fully now.
Anytime there are frustrations, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, it's a dream job to get to have fun.
Absolutely.
And do content and have conversations that actually matter and actually impact people. Like, if we were on a mainstream station and we were just having fun, that would be nice, but it wouldn't have that sustaining power of when you know that what you're doing is making a difference. I even tell my team, like, even if everything we do 51 weeks out of the year doesn't make a difference in people's lives, like, even like what happens during a compassion drive when 2,000 kids get sponsored, like that might be the biggest impact we have that justifies the whole 52 years, right? Like,
that changes generations.
Yeah, and that's just one part of what we do. And so to be a part of that, like, you can see the impact even during support drives when people call and you get to hear people say, why what you do has changed their life or like literally saved their lives, it gives you a sense of, like, even when you get frustrated about this meeting or that assignment or whatever, it's like, well, gosh, like I just took this phone call from someone who, like literally their life has changed.
Even with like our jingle contest, this lady did a long jingle, Lynn, and she was like, I know it's too long and I used AI and everything like this, but the reason I did it, I know it's not going to win, but the reason I did it is I wanted to tell you guys how much you mean to me and what the show has done for. I'm like, wow, that is heavy, there in a good way. I mean, there's so much good, and I've told Betty and Gavin, because you know me, I'm up and down. Like I'm super like. I'm not bipolar by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm passionate enough that I have big swings, and so for me, like I've told them that I was watching this documentary from the Blue Angels, and their thing is it's good to be here. So they always tell each other, it's great to be here. It's great to be here. So even when they're having a bad day, that's like their default to, it's great to be here, to remind them that even on the day where you're frustrated by this is not fun, or hate this, it's still a good day because of what we get to do. And this is a privilege to do this, because there's a very few amount of people that get to do like a morning show on a network in general. I mean, it's crazy.
Right. And yeah, to get to do something that you're constantly hearing how it's making a difference. Like there aren't that many jobs that do that, and you get to go great places, meet amazing people, do funny things. Like it's really a dream job. So.
Are you gonna, like you said, we live 7 minutes from each other. Are you gonna move to Ohio? I bet you are. I bet you are in like a year. You're gonna do your job for a year, make sure it's all solid, then you're going.
I don't know.
And I don't fault you. You should.
That's one of the key benefits of this new job is it's fully remote. So we have the ability to. We don't have plans.
You love Ohio. You always have. Your family's there. Like it makes so much sense for you. Like for me, I'm like, that would be, for me, if you didn't go, I'd be like, that's a missed opportunity.
Right. Especially, my parents are getting older, and so if we can get some years there, and the number of cousins that Anna has up there that she just loves, but she has great friends here, and we're plugged into a church we love, and so it's not an easy. Yeah.
Well, let me know before you go, because I'd like to put an offer in on your house. Because
please do.
The location is good. The things are growing around you. There's been talk of a Wally Show museum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah. And so, it's just me talking about it. But I think it could be pretty exciting, and so I think we could make that happen at your place.
I'll give you rights of first refusal.
Thank you very much. You're very kind.
We've got a commercial, and this is a commercial that Wally wrote for Zach.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Tickle Me Zacko.
From the makers of popular dolls like Barefoot Betty.
Well, that would knock the buzzard off a stink wagon.
And Chewbacca comes Tickle Me Zacko. Your child will be entertained and delighted for hours by the melodious sounds of this jolly doll. Sure, there's not a lot going on upstairs in Tickle Me Zacko's head, but his belly, that's another story. Just give him a little squeeze and listen to him light up with laughter. Tickle Me Zacko won't bore you with an overrated oration, but he will interact with you like this. Zacko, if you think Wally is smarter than you, just laugh. If laughter truly is the best medicine, then let Tickle Me Zacko cure you today. Surgeon General's warning, the laughter starts off infectious, even contagious, but then quickly gets annoying and can lead to irritable bowel syndrome.
Can you imagine creeping through the house at night and tripping over that doll? How creepy that would be.
That was super creepy. This is another good memory. I went with y'all on this one. This was way back in the day when Zach went dressed up as a pirate with your daughter, Haley. Halloween trick-or-treating. Because
you got to do the backstory, too. Zach had never trick-or-treated before. I don't know if that's in the setup for this. Okay, so Zach had never really trick-or-treated before, and we're like, well, we got to take my 8-year-old to teach him how to trick-or-treat. And we put him in a pirate costume that was about 2 sizes too small.
Yes, it was. Which I still have.
Do you really?
Yeah, we found it. We were going through garage sale stuff a couple months ago, and
you should put it back on.
Yeah, you should.
That's a great idea.
It fits better.
It would. Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
And like I bought Zach his first pair of skinny jeans years ago. Remember going shopping for those?
I do.
Do you still have them?
I do.
Nice. I think you've worn them still.
It's been a while.
Has it? Okay.
Yeah.
Was
There's
that the
a
jeans
reason.
fault or your fault?
That's a good question.
All
They were
right,
snug.
here we go.
What do I need to do?
First, you choose a house.
Okay.
Then go ring the doorbell.
Okay.
And if someone answers it, say trick or treat.
Trick or
okay?
treat. Okay.
And then they'll give you candy. And make sure to say thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
So should we practice that once?
Yes, you should.
Okay. How about you be the person giving candy and I'll be the trick or treater?
Okay.
Knock, knock, knock. Trick or treat.
No.
No.
You need to say it like more happier, like
More
you're happy
happy?
to be here.
Okay. Okay. Knock, knock. Trick or treat.
I'm not feeling it. Wait, I have a better idea.
Okay.
Since you're a pirate, say trick or treat.
That's good. All right. Trick or treat.
Yes, you're ready.
Okay.
I think you're ready.
He's
So
8 years
good.
old. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Oh, she's like 25.
25, yeah,
It was like
almost
18
26.
years ago or
Gosh,
something.
that clip's making me tear up
Yeah.
just because
Wow.
of how small Haley was back then. And I can't get that picture of Zach in that tight pirate costume out of my head.
Well, to turn things from a little funny to a serious.
Are you going to
note,
be serious with Zach right now?
Are you gonna cry?
This is just some comments from people that
Oh.
I pulled. Okay, so Jaina, she said, I can't come up with a specific memory. I just really enjoyed hearing Wally go on a rant, and then Zach would turn it into a lesson with facts and Bible verses. I still use his advice on how to stop an argument. You might be right.
Yes. Yes, I have implemented that more so now, too. Yeah, I find that I learned a lot from you.
It's the equivalent of that like fire blanket that you just gently set over something and it just snuffs it out.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
done.
Works out, yeah. Greg said, I'm sad to hear he's leaving. His laugh always lifts my spirits. I made this from one of his very insightful statements on the show. He put up a photo.
Oh, cool.
Whenever he spoke, I always stopped and listened. And the photo said, we should be loud in how we love people and quiet in how we judge. Zach.
Oh, wow. That's...
I wonder who I ripped that off from.
I don't know, but the
Should look that
secret
up.
to creativity is concealing your sources.
Exactly.
Like, so nicely done.
Yeah. Naomi, she said, first of all, how dare you? Second, I know this is probably a good job move for you and your family and nothing lasts forever, but I am truly grateful for everything you've brought to Way FM for 17 years and for the highs and lows you shared with us listeners and how your faith remains steadfast even with all your family has dealt with. I'm so sorry I never wrote in with that before now, but your humanity during sorrows and joys have been a source of strength when we went through our own dark times. We will miss you, and even though I'm sad, I'm excited for you in this next adventure.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, the thing you went through with losing Samuel was I mean, obviously for you, the hardest thing, you know, and I love that you and Sarah would talk about it because it landed with people. And so, yeah, I mean, he's a great laugh and he's a great funny guy, but then the depth that Zach always had definitely mattered to people. And so that's awesome. And I got to tell you, I love seeing how you rebounded from that with Anna. It's like you are the best dad I know, 100%.
I don't know about that, but it definitely gives you perspective. But again, the privilege of being able to talk through that stuff, I think, was like it was almost like free counseling to be able to like. There's a quote that grief demands a witness, and I had that to a great extent at that time that I didn't like. There were people praying for me like that I never knew, but just being able to share that journey, I think, was a really helpful, healthy thing to process.
Yeah, I still, and the other thing like that I've always taken from you is the time to build a shelter is not in the storm. Like, and I love that concept. Like, you need to build your tribe and your people in the good times so that when the storm comes, you have people. You can't all of a sudden manufacture people in your crisis to get you through it because they're not connected to you yet, you know? And I've always thought that was super insightful.
Well, and two, you said something about like grief is like something about a feather in a.
Yeah.
What is it?
That was from a TV show. Grief
Simpsons.
Grief is like a suitcase that you have to pick up every day, and sometimes it's filled with rocks and really heavy, and some days it's light as a feather, and you never know which it's going to be, but you have to pick it up every day.
Oh, wow.
Like, man, that was so true from a really dumb TV show.
Pretty great. Now, I mean, this is where normally we would transition in the show and be like, da 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 birthdays. Because I always do this. I always give Betty like these horrible stories, and
they're terrible. And then I have to try and get into my.
I know. So
it's terrible. A terrible segue.
Let's bring it back up then.
All right. Well, questions. We have some. First off, so many people want an update on Anna because honestly, it's always a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
Oh, so cute.
So she's 9.
She's 9, 4th grade. Absolutely amazing kid. She's in the last 6 months has become obsessed with Pokemon.
Love it.
Nice.
You've been doing AI Pokemon with her too.
Yeah, we make cards together and print them out.
See, that's why I tell you you're the best dad.
Did you do the app where you can walk around and catch them?
Pokemon Go.
A little bit, but we're not putting that on any device she has access to. Like, I don't want her roaming around.
Yeah.
trying to. So very limited, but she likes that when we let her.
Mm-hmm.
But she's really into collecting cards and sorting them. And
My favorite thing, though, when Zach and Sarah had Anna, they're like, you know what, we're going to have a neutral nursery, and, we don't want, like all these colors and boy colors or girl colors and all this craziness. We're just gonna keep it neutral, kind of mature. And then they have a kid that throws up pink.
Yes.
And I was so happy when she started gravitating to pink and tutus, and I'm like, yes.
it's the best.
She is a girly girl, man.
Yes.
It's so great.
Yeah. Now I know that y'all planted a tree for Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
And does she understand more of that now? Does she?
She does, and that's when we've had conversations about moving. Like, that's one of the things that we can't leave the Samuel tree.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is really.
That's cool that she thinks that. I mean,
Yeah.
you could take it. Yeah, you could do that.
It's pretty big now.
Is it really? It's
Yeah.
gotten that big?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's been a lot of
it's
years.
done well. Yeah.
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 I guess you could take a branch off of it, maybe make another tree.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't know if branches
Does that
make
do it?
I'd take a seed. I don't.
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
branches.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a-
Take a leaf.
I don't
I
know.
don't know how
not
trees
a-
work.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not a planting.
Take it up and
The,
put it over there.
and Anna's too smart to be like, just get another tree that looks like it. Like, she would catch you on that. I
Yes,
guarantee
she
it.
would.
Yeah,
for
what's the last thing she's done that made you laugh out loud?
Man, just every day. I shared the thing about I'd choose you to be sick.
Yeah, that's great. Let's not do this. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, wasn't
Hi, Anna. I'm Dad. Remember like that? What was the joke? Hi, Anna. I'm
Oh.
Daddy.
Or she'd say, Dad, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Hi, hungry. I'm Daddy. Let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Wait, tell the story about when she wanted to do a cooking video.
Oh, the
It was
YouTube video.
so cute.
She talks about this all the time.
Does she
And-
still?
Are you talking about when she...
She burned herself.
Yeah, she hurt
Yeah.
herself. Yeah.
Yeah, we were roasting pumpkin seeds, and we had told her, don't touch the pan, and so she starts going and
Because she
talking,
was
and
like
then-
doing she was like an influencer. Like
Yes.
she was doing YouTube
You
videos.
had to film her.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hi there.
Oh, hi there. Yes.
So good.
Yeah, and she started talking, then just with her hand just firmly grabbed the baking sheet, and she teared up and started crying, and then the first thing she said was, "Don't post that video."
And first thing Dad did is show it to all his friends.
Yeah, I didn't post it though.
No, you're
Trust
better
is
than
very
me.
important.
You're
Oh
better
my
than me.
gosh.
I remember my daughter crying because she wouldn't put her hand in the garbage disposal for me for a bit. I know. I'm like,
Do you hear yourself?
I know it sounds abusive, but I'm like, baby, it's not a problem. I'm not anywhere near the switch. I've turned off the breaker. I just need your hand in the garbage disposal for this photo. And she's crying and stuff.
my word.
And finally, Marty, uncharacteristically, because normally Marty would have had my head over this. This is the one time she was like, "It's okay, baby. Everything's off. You'll be fine." And you see the terror of her having her hand in there, which is what I needed the photo to look like. And so we nailed it. But yeah, you're again much better father than me. I don't think Anna's
Once
done any
again.
therapy yet. My kid can't say that.
Not yet. She will, I'm sure.
Oh gosh. Okay, so questions. Gianna wants to know: will you be wearing Crocs at your new job?
I'll
Your
be
house?
barefoot most of the time.
Yeah.
I hate having anything on my. Ugh.
Not even Crocs.
No.
Maybe like a sock.
Dude,
I only have one or two pairs of Crocs now.
Gavin never got to see this, where Zach would interlock his fingers into his bare toes. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It was like he was like holding his toes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He would also rub the sole of his
Yeah.
shoe.
Yeah.
That thing thing has been through cow manure, and he's over there just rubbing it.
I don't live in that kind of
Nasty.
neighborhood, Betty, okay?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Betty's like, aren't all neighborhoods? Don't you have to move cows in every neighborhood to get out?
Oh, my word. Mary, she said, if we could wave a magic wand and have the four of you back in high school, so the four of us, would you guys have been friends? Would you and Wally have been friends?
Oh, that's interesting. I would have needed a friend.
Are you saying as our current selves or as our high school selves?
Good question.
See,
See,
this is where
he
he
always
goes
has
wrong,
a
Mary. I
stinking
don't
follow-up.
No, well, because
Never takes it at
when
face
you were in
value.
high school,
No,
you were the
okay.
surfer kid.
Right. Okay. Go as how you were in high school.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So, Wally, you were the desperate kid just trying to find friends.
I was a
someone
friend
that-
in every friend group, kind of. Like, I was a chameleon.
And then you had the Rubik's Cube put together guy over here.
Yeah.
No, but that's how I was too. Like
Yeah.
friends with the football players, the band kids. So
Because you were like class president, right?
He was at
An officer,
cheerleading, too.
no,
You helped with cheerleading.
for Powder Puff, yeah.
Nice.
Nice. That's
Taught
cute.
a couple summer clinics.
Taught
but
a couple
whatever.
of
High V,
girls
low V, middle
cheerleading.
T, candlesticks, daggers, water buckets. I know them all. Happy fingers. Yeah. No, I think we would have if we had crossed.
Yeah.
But because if we were both like
Trying to be
bouncing
in
between
yeah.
groups,
Yeah.
maybe we wouldn't have crossed. But yeah,
Were you outgoing in high school?
eventually,
Okay.
like junior high, I was somewhat bullied a lot.
Yeah.
And really
Shocker.
didn't. I know,
Don't,
right?
don't.
I said
just
shocker!
went through some audio where you did the same joke, and it was a fat joke, and it was not.
But by the time in high school, I became friends with everybody, but not like a part of any of the groups.
Exactly. That's how
So-
I was. Yeah. We would have found each other.
Yes.
We would have started our own group. I think, like, if we, like, yeah, like, for me, humor was such a big thing. So anybody I found that made me laugh, that I made them laugh, like, I would have been instantly connected to that person. That's how Gabe was, God rest his soul, from Toby's band. Like, we made each other laugh, and, like, we quickly bonded. And so, yeah, that would have been the same thing. We would have both been trying to impress Betty, who would not have given a crud about us.
I'm over it. Okay, we have 10 minutes until we've got to get out of here. But last question: craziest memory with Wally.
Oh, geez.
That's hard. That's hard.
I will say one of my favorites was when we were going to go deliver the Christmas present to the lady that lived on Murder Road. And we went out to eat first, and then we got in the van. And I remember Anna was in her little car seat because I was sitting next to her. She was so cute,
She
so
was
fun.
Tiny.
And we took her down Murder Road
Yeah.
and didn't think this
Got
place
lost.
existed, and eventually found it. But that was crazy.
That was a fun night.
Had to film it.
I remember one of the crazy things. Anywhere we would travel, like even our first trip, we're in Tanzania. There's a guy in front of the hotel with a gun.
Yeah.
Like, because security's an issue there. And we get in and set the bags down, and 5 minutes later, Wally's like, I'm going to go walk around the town. You can't just, like, it's nighttime. It's like
Yeah.
8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I loved it, man.
Did y'all ever have to share a bed in those trips?
We had to share a room in Haiti after the earthquake. And
Yeah,
one of my
that's right.
favorite moments was Zach taking over duties for me, arguing with Brant for 3 hours in a car ride. Those two just got off on this debate, and because normally Brant and I were always debating, and so this was when if I had popcorn, I would have just sat back and watched. It was so nice. I didn't have to get in.
Do you remember what it was about? 'Cause
No,
I don't.
I don't either.
I remember. I remember thinking it was great fun, and then the next day, Brant came up and apologized to me.
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, was that? I thought we were
Yeah.
just sparring. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
because he's
thought it was great
wired
fun.
differently.
Yeah.
Like we could like have debates and everything like that. It was like part of the spar,
Right.
You know, and he took it seriously.
He's like, sorry, I got so yeah.
Or what about the time y'all were traveling and Zach didn't have his yellow fever shot? And you
Yes!
made a big deal about it. And then he had to get a shot in like a third world
Mozambique.
country.
Yeah.
I just saw those pictures the other day when I was backing up my phone, and yeah, he's in his tiny little room by himself,
That's
getting
terrible.
a shot from somebody that does not
Doesn't-
speak English.
Not a bit of English.
That is
All I
scary.
knew is I had to give him a $50 bill
to get
take
a
a shot,
shot.
yeah.
Oh, so
Wow.
good,
because
so good.
the CDC said we didn't need the yellow fever card, so I didn't bring it.
I know. I always brought mine.
Yeah, and then pointed out anyone in the line who didn't have
What?
it.
You don't have your card? That's so weird.
Was that the same place you slipped yours to somebody else to get them through?
I think so. I had 2 cards, and I walked 3 people through the airport with my cards. I went through, and then I came back, and I went and I got them. I said, "Don't say anything. Just come with me." And they're
Why
like,
didn't
"Wait,
you do
what?"
that with the guy that you respect?
I want to see how it went. This was in another part of the trip, and I'm like, "Okay, don't say anything. Just come with me." So I just start walking them up to the front, and they stop me, and I'm like, "No, it's fine. I've already been through. They're with me. Look, card. They're with me." And I just blow past the security.
Just go with confidence. And they'll let
that's
you.
it, man. And then these 3 people just walked in with me, and so we beat the system.
Well, and I knew I was getting busted because it was like 100 degrees that day. We're walking off the plane.
He had yellow fever.
Well, I had that cough, allegedly. And we get to the door, and they're taking our temperatures on our forehead, and I'm dripping sweat. I'm like, this is not good.
Yeah, so he got it. Yeah, I got to tell you, like, it's been a great career. I'm sad that the part of you leaving isn't like leaving from the show. Like, I hated that we lost you a few years ago to go do bigger vice president things. I love too that, like, he didn't just leave the show. Like, he became a vice president here.
Yeah.
You're like, and then there's Betty and I just like,
But
hey.
at least it was a slow goodbye.
Yeah.
It wasn't like an immediate, oh, he's out the door type thing.
Yeah.
I think that was nice.
Yeah, well, your influence on me, I have felt greatly, and your influence in this place has been felt and will be 1,000,000,000% missed and can't be replicated,
Yeah, but
We tried with Gavin, but he was a disappointment. No.
No, I appreciate that, and I'm honored. But like, you've impacted me in huge ways, like the way I think about things and the way I process things.
The way I correct people. I got really good at it.
Yeah. Like, I need to be more vigilant because people are so wrong. No, you also helped highlight things that needed work and refinement, like correcting people. I'm like, okay, I'm getting some idea that I need to dial that back. So that was helpful.
That's what made you. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, but
when it was other people.
I do like the team I have is great, and they're gonna. It's the greatest honor when you see them replicate things and then take it further, and it's like that's gonna be fun to watch.
Sure. Well, everybody wishes you all the best. I've never met anyone that didn't like Zach. That's the crazy thing.
And if they did, we'd question them.
Yeah, that's on them. Absolutely. And I think with that, we're gonna have to wrap this thing up. 52-minute podcast.
I'm so
Yeah.
I feel bad for the people who just started listening to the podcast and have no idea. They're like, why are you talking?
That's okay. That's all right.
No, you're welcome.
Yes. Yeah, you're welcome. You just missed a great man. Go back and listen to old podcasts and get caught up. Do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.